We are ready to go. How are you doing? It is that wonderful time of the day, 7:59. So let's get the show on the road. Are you ready? Are you ready? Hi, Stacy. Good morning. I'm not getting my phone to sit properly. Good morning, Loretta. How are you? Hi, Gavi. Good morning. Oh, my phone is not staying on my fancy little thing that I use every day, but good morning, people. We will figure it out as usual. Here it's sliding. I am moving. Okay. I cannot bring you out. I cannot bring you back. Here we go. So it's 8 o'clock. I'm waiting to see if Amma is on. She's not here yet. We're having somebody sharing the stage with me today. And this is our topic. We have conscious or unconscious. You are where you are because of one of your desires. Hi, Kat. I'm Stacy pinning it. Here we go. Yeah, so it is an amazing morning. And we are here, and this is doing its thing. And we don't know how to get it to stay. You know, when you have an exciting thing to do, see what's happening? it is just not staying where it's supposed to stay. If I had my way, I would go upstairs and change it. Hi, Yuko. Good morning. Waiting for Amma, having a dance with my thing this morning. It's not cooperating at all. So I have no idea what's going on with it, but everything is tightened. It's doing its dance. So we will just have to let. Hi, Nancy. How are you this morning? I am dancing with my holder for my iPhone. We're having a dance today. So I'll have to wait until Amma comes on. She's not here yet, but I'm waiting for her. I haven't seen her. So we'll see how she feels. Maybe she is having some issues with internet like we are. UNICEF is having fun. Universe is really amazing. I like when it does that. And it just gives me more to be more persistent. Hi, Amma. We're having fun settling up this morning. So I'm from England. My nephew from England is also on today. So Gabby, hold on. I know I must be making you feel bad if my thing's not going. He must be saying, what's wrong with her this morning? See, I'm having a dance.
Hi, Tessa.
Hi. The holder is having a dance with me. I am ready to go and get something else. Let me see if I have
I'm
it
feeling festive. What do you think?
You're looking great. You look like Christmas morning. Hold on. I'm going to change my holder because with me.
Good morning, Stacy. Good morning, everyone in Tessa's. Following Yuko. Hi. A few names that I do know. Good morning. Hello. You like my glasses, Stacy? They're fun, aren't they? It's a bit early for Christmas, but I thought I'll bring it because Tessa's always up to fun things. I've got my hat also while she goes to get her bits. Yes, Stacy, this is the most amazing morning blessing. Although, do you know what? It comes on at lunchtime in the UK. It's exactly 1 o'clock here. So, happy Hanukkah. Hi, Annette.
Yes, I am. I'm going to have to take us out from here because this thing is doing whatever it wants. This will work. I know it will work. So anyway, how are you doing? Everybody's here, guys. Thank you. I'm sorry. I apologize. I've been dancing with this thing since 5 minutes away, trying to set it up so it stays well, but it wasn't. So Amma is here today, and we are talking about conscious. It's a long story. As you know, I do not get my stuff until morning, but I do visualization very early. And during visualization, our topic came. So here's our topic. Conscious or unconsciously, you want to do it like that, you are living the life you desired. I sent it to Amma, and I want to see what she got out of it.
I love this spontaneity, Tessa. Normally, before I go live, I have a very good idea about what I'm going to talk about. But then I was also willing to try something new, right? To challenge myself and get a topic on the day, in the moment. So the question is, conscious or unconscious? First of all, I want to introduce myself because there might
That
be people watching that don't know me, right?
is all
So
the excitement I'm having with my Insta.
hello everybody. I'm usually in the chats on This Morning Blessing. I'm Anna Primicino and I'm a London-based life coach. I help mothers to stop chasing perfectionism and design a life that meets their own expectations, their own love, their own light, their own brilliance, because we only get this one life and we all deserve to find out what makes us happy, what makes us shine, and design a life that gives us that. Consciously or unconsciously, life is happening to you or for you. You have to choose. So I'm so happy to be here with you all this morning to have this chat, Tessa.
Thank you. I like how you shorten my name. And I also like how you call me Tessa-Marie. So funny.
And not Tessa-Marie.
But that's okay. I don't take anything from that. Guys, I met Amma through Rosie. Rosie lives in California.
Yeah.
I texted and I said to her, we expect you on there today. But she would have to, it would be 5 o'clock there right now. And I told her I'm going to just phone you. I didn't do that. But anyway, so one of the two people, somebody who was on the live and another person who saw it later,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see you and Amma do a live.
Who was that? I'm curious. Who was that?
Lisa, one of the Lisas, there's 2 Lisas there. This Lisa Donna, she was the first one that said it.
Okay.
And then I forgot the other person's name. I can't remember the name, but it's not a regular. She must have seen it either on YouTube or on Instagram. What it is, I have never, ever shared the stage of the morning blessings with anybody.
Oh, wow.
I never do that. I just don't. People will come and they will ask and I'll say no. Because it is a message that I want to give. It's like the vitamin, something to let you to go on. And I know your stuff and I listen to you. I had come to your lives and you had said to me one day, we'll do a live.
Yes.
And the thing is, so that's why I decided I have to do that, because you had said the words and you know how I feel about what we speak. You said, Marie, I want to have you do a live with some lady that you were doing a live in, and I came on and I was just
Find Your Bling, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. She followed me and I followed her. But you never did it. So I just left it. I said, one of these days she will. And then when Lisa said that, and that other person said it, I said, you know what, this has to happen. Let me make it happen. So that's why we are here. And then I sent you, I didn't ask you, I said to you, here is what somebody said about you.
That's right. You sent me a screenshot.
Yeah. And then you said, okay, well, let's do it. But it predicted it. And that is a lesson for all of us to know. Our words are usually our prophecies. So all of that is past. And then this morning, I am visualizing. So after meditation and prayer, I visualize, then I read, and then later on, I get the topic, really later on. So then came your desire, what you're living now, like this experience we are having now, is a conscious or unconscious desire. So it's still tied up with the need, with the reason you sought at that time, that inclination, that inspiration said, yeah, we should get to do a live like this. So here we are. So you see, that is why when we get a tiny inspiration, we shouldn't kick it to the curb. We should put it into our pocket and hold it and figure out what are we going to do with it. So here we are doing it now.
So here we are.
I'm going to let you start on the topic.
Oh, I think you should start, Tessa, because I want to know which direction, conscious or unconscious, can go in any direction. Is there any more to it? I'm just seeing half of it. Conscious or unconscious desire, are you living now? Yes. What does that mean? What does that mean to you?
Well, whatever, conscious or unconscious, we are living our desires. We're doing it now. You had a conscious request and we're experiencing now. So how simple is it?
Yeah.
But we not think of that our desires does not always have to be something that is good. Because when we desire, whether it's for somebody else or for ourselves. And we do that too. We are going to get it. But we do not believe that. Because sometimes we think if it's a good thing, it's too good. It wouldn't happen to me. It's too much. It's too amazing. I cannot experience that. But it's still a desire.
Okay.
So that desire, whether you're consciously thinking of it or you're doing it just because you're accustomed to doing it, is going to come in your life, because the point is you are it. You're doing. Nobody else is going to manifest it or create it but you, because it's your desire. You maybe are saying, I'm consciously going to sit with Amma and do this. I'm going to get up every day and do my morning blessing. Conscious. But then I might be unconsciously functioning like moving something, multitasking and autopilot.
Yeah.
And I could slip. It was an unconscious thing. I could cut my finger. How many times we are chopping vegetables and we chop a nail right off?
Several times.
So that's what it means to me.
Okay. All right. So let me break it down and how I'm receiving it. Okay.
Yeah.
Conscious. Conscious for me suggests that I am the designer of my life. I can sit down consciously with a pen and paper, like at this time of the year or any time, and write my goals down. My short-term goals, my medium-term goals, my long-term goals. And consciously, I can also decide, right, this is a goal I want a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. That's very conscious. And then I can consciously look at that list and also say, right, what do I need to become, or who do I need to become to consciously achieve this particular outcome? So I might say to you, right, 5 years from now, I want to be living in a street that I've set my eyes on called Bishop's Avenue. But it's not this version of me, it's not this version of consciousness I hold here that's going to become that person capable of living in Bishop's Avenue. So then you have to break it down, right? Because everything is also backed by science. Right, how many clients do I have to serve? What do I have to believe in myself? Where do I need to upscale my skills? What do I need to invest in? What do I need to subtract from my conscious living? What do I need to tap into my unconsciousness to release more power, more strength, more grace, to become capable of living those intentionalities? And then we go to, so you say conscious or unconscious? Unconscious for me means I am like a leaf, like now in the winter, blowing.
Yeah.
And it's just taking me wherever the wind will take me, right? I'm unconscious about it. So unconscious things can be thoughts, actions, motives, company, resources, unconsciously bleeding in finances. You know, you're not checking your bank statements. Things are just coming off. There are many things that could be happening to us unconsciously. It's like, for example, you know, our phone. So right now I'm on Instagram. I've got my Instagram app open, but unconsciously I have some other apps behind Instagram opened that is bleeding the battery power, right? And it's also using my living space of my phone capacity. So when we want to become very, very conscious about living with intentionality, we have to also be somehow focusing on what is in my blind spots. What is unconsciously draining me? What is unconsciously uplifting me? Like, you have to become so aware of both your conscious mind and your unconscious mind, and make sure that they're both working for you, not to you, for you to get to where you want to go. So I think that's what it means to me.
Well, when he talked about wanting to live on Bishop Street and all of that,
Do you know it? Yes, because you know London.
I know about it. So when you look at I am committed, so in my setting journal, every day I write in this book what I am committed to do to all of this. And I say it like this: I am committed to do that. For example, if you want to live on Bishop Street, you have to watch your savings. I'm committed to monitor my bank account every day. This will help me to live on Bishop Street at the time. What else am I committed to do? I'm committed to see Bishop Street as attainable. How do I do that? I visit Bishop Street. So it's always your commitment from inside that brings it. I love your analogy about the wind and the leaf, because I use it a lot. I said, you're like that. But before I came to that, I always heard what Seneca said when he said, that if you do not know what harbor you seek, any wind is a good wind, because you have no plans. You do not know what you want. You're unconscious, and you're just going in the wind, and the wind is moving you along. And where you land, you settle. But that is really, really important, except as we go through this journey called life, we forget everything to do with what it is we did, where we were, what we were thinking. And now we're living that result. And that is why people say, I hate where I am, and they use that word. But if you push and say, but you did it. You created it. And many times I had to fight it. Everything for me is money, because that's what I do as a living. And I would have to tell a 6-foot man, tall and huge, and say to him, no, the bank did not sign those slips on the Visa bill. You did. And that's why you're where you are now, is because of taking those steps and not realizing it. So I unconsciously, they didn't go further. And that's where the question comes.
Yeah.
What is this going to take me closer or further away from my dream? And that is, if you're conscious, you're able to ask it.
Yeah.
So that's how I read it, although I didn't.
I love the way you explain that, Tessa, and I just want to add a little bit to it. You're so right about the importance of writing down goals and taking the goals a little bit step further, like going to visit the place that you have intentions of being part of in the future, right? Because what the mind can conceive and achieve, the body will go there, right? So if you start to feel it, to see it, to imagine you have it, that's also great. But I also find that a lot of people are quite good at writing down the goals, but the missing link to achieving the goals is also, Napoleon Hill calls it, a burning desire. I call it reasons. Reasons will make you do so many things. Like, okay, so you want this house. What is your reason for it? It's not just to have the house, because material possessions is not enough, right? That doesn't give you the burning desire, ambition. My reason is because I want to have a house where I can invite women to do a retreat and to host them and heal them with my own special way. I've got a flair about cooking, I love fashion, I love makeup. I want to create this house of fun where women who need it come for healing. But obviously I'm not a healer in any kind of medicinal or spiritual way, but just in my own way of love. And I can see it in my mind. I came to England as a refugee. I don't know if you know that. My parents fled from Ghana to England, and there were a few places that held space for my mum in that generation, what they could do. And now I have that burning desire and burning ambition to be the woman that picks up a woman that has lost her identity, doesn't know where she is, she's blowing in a wind, she's been living an unconscious living, and together in an incubator for 6 weeks, she becomes conscious that, oh, I can take control of my life. I can design a life. I have the power. I have all the capabilities and skills. Because also, sometimes you need an outsider to excavate what's inside of you. And Tony Robbins calls it immersion. And until you go to work on it and immerse yourself on it, you can't pull out what is there. Like people who work in the coal mines, it's not just one layer down. They've got to go really deep, close to the soil of the earth to find these precious stones that exist. So we all have that inside of us, and we can't excavate it by ourselves. But together, womanhood, empowerment, support, coaching, through love, courage, somebody believing in you, we can all be conscious about what we're capable of and stop living an unconscious living, and just, life is going, whether we like it, know it, want it, whatever. Every day is ticking. It's a blessing. Yeah. This morning is an absolute blessing. But until we decided, right, let's stop wishing, let's put a date down and use the power of intentionality to achieve something, nothing happens without us being part of it.
The thing about setting those things is the moment, is being conscious in the moment. And maybe we think that moments are long. Moments are fleeting. They're very tiny. And if you know that you need to get yourself fixed, you have to believe. And that's why I ask people to inflect. Go in and find the diamond. That's why I say you were given a nugget. It has
Everything's there.
what is in there. It's
Everything's there.
pearl. But sometimes in a nugget, there's so many caves that you can go through and come out whole. And when you share, somebody said to me about sharing, that you share and you give so easily. I said, well, there's always room next to me. There's room next to me. I will make room for you. I'll find somewhere to slide you in if you want to be the person you want to be. Like you said, give you the opportunity to shine. Place you're dreaming on Bishop Street. That is the place you want to be, so you allow that. But when you came to England as a child, you decided that you were just going to be a refugee and stay there. You saw more, you strive for more, you pushed further, you went higher, and you do not stop. The thing is, where you are now is fine, it's comfortable. Bishop Street is scary.
It is.
Me, but you can take the scary thing a little piece at a time. What can I do? What am I committed to do? And I said you have the Napoleon Hill did say about the burning desire. Many people do not understand the burning desire, but any desire, whether it's a desire of rage to kill somebody, to hurt somebody, to hate somebody, it's still your desire. And it is a burning desire. So why don't we use that energy, that emotion we have when we're going to do something terrible, and switch it to the consciousness of doing something great with that same amount of emotion? People will say they're angry and the emotion is high and they hate and everything, and they cannot stop it. But when they're setting a goal, it is basically done. They do it like, well, today I'm making my goal, I want to be a millionaire. Well, what is the rest of it? And that's why I say, when you write something down, make it a story. Take your time and do not expect, because you started doing it in January of 2023, by December of 2023, you're going to have it signed, sealed, and delivered. And then you stop. But you tell me the story. I can understand on page 1, I want to be a millionaire. I expect by page 5, you expect to tell me your process and your desire. Why? Why do you want it? And I always reference somebody getting angry at me at the bank because I wouldn't do what they want, which is against the law. And they get angry. And I sit there, and the only thing I am hearing, you have 3 people to educate. You have 3 people to educate. So I had to.
You see the power of reasons? Your reasons were coming up.
Yes. And it started a long time. When Jillian was in the stroller in the supermarket, of course she was uncomfortable. I was not bright enough to realize she shouldn't have this heavy coat on in the supermarket cupboard. And she's screaming. And I'm going shopping and I'm pushing this stroller, and I go, you calm, Tessa-Marie, relax, Tessa-Marie, breathe, Tessa-Marie. And this man comes next to me and goes, oh, I'm so impressed when we're talking to your baby, lady. And I look at him and I said, no, sir, I'm talking to me. Be calm, I'm bringing me down because I cannot stop this thing. You know? So you have to really know what it is, what results you're looking for. And you cannot be ashamed of your results. What do you think of that? You have this big audacious goal, and it's big, it's going to flow. Lots of things are coming into it. And it actually scares you because some people are afraid of their goals, or they get to the top of the mountain and they look down and say, I cannot stand it. This is just too much. And they fall down. What do you think of that?
What I know for sure of the experience I've had this far in life, anything that I've wanted with a burning desire, if it didn't scare me, I didn't do it. Everything that I've got that I value, that I appreciate, like, for example, the first time I thought about becoming a mother, I was scared. Can I do it? Is it going to be painful? Am I losing, like all the anxiety? Am I going to be a good mom? Getting married, am I doing the right thing? This is scary. What if it doesn't work? My parents divorced, so these questions were in my head. deciding to go and study in further studies and do a master's degree. Am I smart enough? Am I intelligent enough? Anything I've ever wanted that I've worked for, Tessa, initially, it scared the hell out of me. I've had periods in my life where I decided to relocate and go live back in Ghana. It was so scary, but I had the desire, I had my compelling reasons why I wanted to do it. So I'm starting to say to myself, to my children, and to my clients that fear is just confirmation that you're supposed to do this. For example, a couple of years ago, this would have been super scary for me. Do you remember when you used to be on at nighttime and you used to say, come on, Emma, join? I'd be like, I'm in my bed. I'm in my pajamas. You're like, turn the camera on. It doesn't matter. That was scary. This, you know, but
you did it.
But I did it. So I just want to validate for everybody that whatever you want, if fear shows up, it just means you're supposed to have it. You're supposed to shine. You're supposed to be amazing. And don't think that, oh, well, I'm not confident because I'm afraid. Actually, confidence comes from you taking action with fear, in spite of fear, as well as fear, through fear, over fear, around fear, whatever it takes. Fear is your friend. So it is scary, Tessa, but I know, you know, when I was about 10 years old, my dad at Christmas, this time of the year, used to drive us around central London to see the lights, right? And we used to always drive through Bishop's Avenue. And I'll always be looking for my house because there's a particular house that I always said, I'm going to come back for this house when I'm older. And obviously everybody in the car would laugh at me that, yeah, right. Tessa, it's still scary. It was scary then when I was 10 years old saying I'm going to come for this house. It's still scary. I'm 48 years old. And I think we need to make big, scary, bold, audacious goals because it's not about getting it. It's who you have to become to be able to attain that. And if it doesn't scare you, you're going to stay in your comfort zone. You're not going to change. You're not going to grow. You're not going to evolve. For a butterfly to become a butterfly, a caterpillar has to die first, literally, and evolve into something new and more beautiful. And if your goals is, if you have a big enough reason and several reasons layers down that moves you emotionally, when I think about it, I could literally cry because it's not for me. I'm so in awe of, let's say, the divine working through me to choose me, to give me all these hard knocks of life. And I still get up and say, I'm still going to go for this. I'm still going to believe in myself. I'm still going to work in faith. I'm still going to act obediently. And Tessa, if you ask me, I'm scared, but I'm doing it scared.
You have to. I had such a fear of heights that I would not be able to go on the balcony of an apartment that was higher than the 4th floor. I had a cousin and he lived on the 15th or 16th floor and I was pregnant and walking up the flights rather than I couldn't do this, to go in the elevator. And then I decided, well, if I'm going to Sydney, to Australia, I might as well climb the bridge. The bridge is there. So I did. That was the first thing I did. I climbed to the top of the bridge in Sydney. You see the Opera House,
yeah,
toy, and the cruise ships look like a little toy boat on the thing. But I did it, and then I never stopped. And when I came back to Toronto on my 70th birthday, I went and I did the skywalk outside of the building, hanging across, and I kept doing things. I went to Peru and I did the mountain to go to Machu Picchu. And again, when I went to Switzerland, I went up the Alps. I had no choice. I had to conquer it. And no, I'm not afraid of heights. But you should have seen the sweat in my hand. It's cold and I'm sweating. And it's because of the fear. But I knew I had to do this. And everything I do, every day, I make sure I do it to the best because I have no choice. I do not want to repeat. And I do not want to go back and fix it.
Yes.
And my dad used to say, do it once. You know, he said, if you're doing something, measure it, because he was an architect builder, measure it twice and cut once. So practice a lot and then and do your best. And so, but it has a lot of fear. There isn't anything we go through life that does not have a lot of fear. Yeah. And people have to understand that. But our topic says we have to realize where we are is really our own doing. It has to do with somebody outside of you. And many people who, as you know, you coach, I do. Well, it is because of so and so I am where I am right now. And when I wrote more, I didn't read it. It said, well, it was your choice to give the key of your journey called life to somebody else, to turn it off and turn it on, to lock it and to open it when they need it. You didn't have to give the key to them, but you chose, because you said, here is the key to my life. Tell me when I can open the door or when the door is locked. And then you're blaming that person who you chose to give the key to, knowing fully well that you had a free will to stand up and take the key and keep your key and say, no, this is my life. I'm going to do it this way. Oh, well, I was afraid of what people would say. My marriage, I would, and there's a list of excuses. And when I hear that, I usually stop talking and let them continue until they have nothing else. I said, are you sure you haven't got one more reason why it has nothing to do with you?
Yeah.
And that is when the eye opens up. And maybe they're crying or they get frustrated and they say, I have to go, I'll call you back later. Do you ever find that?
Before I answer that, Tess, I have to say something. You just referenced about climbing Sydney Opera House when you were 70, your 70th birthday, right?
No, yeah, that was 60 something.
When I'm in front of you, you are completely ageless to me. I don't even think of you much older than myself, right? I forget that, oh my God, you are 70. And I just want to say you're such an inspiration to me, because physically, mentally, emotionally, I mean, you're my mum's age and you are so more bolder, courageous. And it goes to show that being conscious and working on yourself makes a difference, because you define age completely. And I'm sure everybody watching will agree with me that I don't ever think of you as part of the 70 plus people that I know, because they look 70, they sound 70, their mindset is 70. So yeah. And then what did you ask me just now? I've forgotten.
Had anybody ever said to you that it's everybody's fault, and then when you finally bring them to the end, they have no more people to blame, and you say, then what happens in that instant?
A lot of people live in the past, Tessa, right? And the past should only be a place we reflect for wisdom or insights, but it's not a place that we stay stuck or blocked or trapped. And people who are inactive or immobilized in the past come up with a rich cocktail of reasons, blame, shaming of somebody else who made them a victim, right? But you can't move forward or even enjoy your present state in a victim mentality, stuck in the past with lots of blames and reasons why you're not where you're supposed to be. And sometimes it sounds really harsh and brutal, but when you take full responsibility of whatever happened, that this, like, for example, before I became this confident version of myself, a past version of me would have told you I worked in the corporate world where I was treated a certain way, undermined, excluded from certain things. But Tessa, I was part of the reason. I was part of the reason because I didn't know any better. When you know better, you absolutely do better. I didn't have my voice. I was scared to express myself. I was in doubt. I was an empath. I'm still an empath, but I'm part of the people I'm empathetic towards. I'm in the line, maybe at the front of the line even. So the most powerful and liberating gift you can give yourself is to take full responsibility of whatever's happened. Because when you take full responsibility, then now you are the author. The pen and the paper is in your hand. The chapters are in your hand. The script is in your hand, like you said. Write your story. Today's the beginning of the rest of my life. I am so happy and grateful, as you like to say, Tessa. And you write it. It is the year 2023, and I'm doing this. And as we always say, whatever follows, the most powerful words you could say to yourself is, I am.
I am.
Why is that the most powerful thing you could say to yourself? Because whatever follows the words I am comes looking for you.
It does.
strong, I'm courageous, I'm brave, I'm powerful, I'm sexy, I'm healthy, I'm rich, I'm abundant. Or you could be saying, I'm weak, I'm broken, I'm lost, I'm hurt. You know, they're also maybe speaking truth, but which one do you want to come looking out for you? So speak the words like you already have it. Forgive the past, forgive those who let you down, forgive those who hurt you, and understand that, oh, here's the good part. When you start going to work on yourself, when you get conscious about you being the designer of your life, all those past hurts are gold coins. They are chapters, they are books, they are courses, they are programs, they are gifts that it's going to be your superpower because you overcame, because you forgave, because you rewrote the story. I am like this because this happened to me. You've become so much more powerful than somebody who didn't, you know, being alive, you have to be open to all the cocktails of emotions and experiences, hurt, sorrow, victory, all of it. So if it's all good and none
You,
of it bad, bring
you
it
have,
with you.
but do you think you are too old to change?
Um, I think some people believe you're too old to change, but I personally believe once the brain is functioning and once all your senses are working, like all your faculties are working, you can hear, you can understand language, you're never too old to change.
Are you too old to dream?
Sorry?
Are you too old to dream?
You might be too old to have certain dreams. Like, for example, I'm too old to be an Olympic champion right now because I used to do gymnastics when I was younger and I didn't pursue it past 17. But at 48, I can't become an Olympic champion now because my hips, my bones, there's certain things. I can't become the world's most famous ballerina because it's a learned act that takes years. Do you understand? But so you might be too old for certain things just because nature moves on to focus you on something else. But you're not too old for everything.
But it's so then you believe that you got off the train and you have a choice. You have to take a new train because you were an Olympic person or sports person. You stopped at 17. I see it as, okay, I'm getting off the train right here. But the train continued. So the next train coming up, it might be the train that is suitable for you. So why are people afraid of getting on the next train that is suitable for them? That's what I cannot get. Because you know why I'm saying that? I am told all the time, relax, retire, sit down. And all of those things seems great. I can relax and lie on the grass all day. I can sit in the garden all day. I can sit in the middle of the garden among the rose thorns all day. So I relax that way. But what I get when they say relax and shut up and sit down and be at your age, I do not know what that's supposed to be. Nobody gave me instructions of how you behave at 77.
You're a trailblazer, Tessa.
Is that what?
You don't do anything that you're supposed to do. I'm sure any chapter of your life. I'm happy to be witness in this chapter of your life, but I'm sure the previous chapters were the same, where you were redefining what it means to be a mother, redefining what it means to be a wife, all of it. So I really strongly believe is a mindset. It's a mindset that somebody has to feel within themselves to say, right, it's like medical reports. The medical report says that, right, you're terminally ill. And some people say, no, I'm not, I'm going to get over this. And they go find plant-based medicine and thoughts becoming things, they heal their body in shock medical science, right? That, wow, how did you do that? It's impossible. So if you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. And you're the only person to gift yourself that consciousness or unconsciousness. If you believe you can, it's as simple as that. You can, and and if you, like we were talking about, if you have compelling enough reason why you want a thing, like you want to stay young forever, you want to connect with young people, you want to go online, whatever it is that you want, if you believe you can, you can. And if you believe you can't, no coach, no books, no courses, no AI can make you do something that you believe you can't do it. So I think it comes down to self-belief and knowing the power of what you have inside, that everything you need is also within you. I saw Stacey put in the chat that it's also fear. A lot of older people are afraid of fear of judgment. Like my mum, for example, she's gorgeous. She's got a beautiful body on her, but she won't wear certain things because most women her age, she says, people will laugh at me. I can't wear that. And when people laugh at me, you look amazing. You know, so it's about the fear of not belonging. We all want to fit in and belong. And to be able to be radical, you stand the risk of not belonging to your clique, whether it's your race, your age, your culture. And it takes a lot of courage. The comfortable, convenient thing to do is to stay small and stop shining, right? But it's also, it takes a lot of courage to be able to elevate yourself and say, I'm going to go against the odds. I'm going to define the odds. I'm going to break the glass ceiling. You know, I'm going to be the one that sits on the bus, even if I'm not allowed to. It's not convenient. The convenient thing is to stay small and stay in the darkness.
Yeah.
But that's not healthy. That's not good for you, because a lot of older people end up, when you're not productive, I think we're born to create at any age. Creation is why we're here. And creation is not just in your formative years or in your active youthfulness. We can create till the end of our last breath. And I feel like when you don't create, i.e. retirement, is the worst thing that could happen, because that's when all this diseases of the mind, diseases in the body, diseases of everything comes looking for you because you're not creating.
Yeah.
So in answer to your question, we were born to create, and we can create till our last breath.
So let's read some of your comments. We haven't been seeing them. You both are a new morning blessing. Love this. Makes me proud to see so two amazing, beautiful women. Thanks, Stacy. Tessa really opened my eyes today. The positive mindset coach, sometimes old programming will switch from conscious to subconscious. It's not sustainable to constantly be in conscious mind in the moment. So it's important to have the right support around you. Yes, I agree with you. It is true.
Absolutely, Daniel.
It is essential for growth. Yeah, I like that. And so proud you are. I'm Stacey's just going to give us lots of proud. Love this feeling that you need to do it. Yes, Lisa. If others don't laugh at your goal is not big enough. Well, my dad used to say, if they don't talk about me and criticize me, then I'm not good enough.
Then you're not doing anything worthy.
Yeah, you're not doing anything fantastic. That's what my dad would tell us. So let them talk about you, because that means they're watching you and you're shaking them up. So guys, thanks for your wonderful comment. Amma, this has been amazing.
I know, it's blown by. Normally, I'm the one typing comments for you, Tessa, so it's nice to be here on screen.
He's amazing. Let me see who are the people that are here with us. Well, of course, Kia, Nancy, Stacy, Yuko, Melissa, Lisa, Ryan, Loretta, Lynn, positive mindset coach. This has been amazing, guys, for you hanging on with us. And you know, this is the first time, but there's a first time for everything. And you always have to find somebody that are like-minded for you to do something with. And that was how Yuko and I became this tight, because we had the same amount of fear. And yet when we put the two of us together, it was surmount anything that was placed in front of us. And I really enjoyed that. So she said, it's an amazing confirmation. I'm creating thumbnails from, Yuko is always on. She's always creating. She's always doing something with social media. So
Excellent.
I have to say in closing.
First of all, I want to thank you so much, Tessa-Marie, not just for today's session, but for you being in the space. For you being in this space, right? Everybody, like, there's a lot of talk about social media is toxic, social media is unhealthy.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You're very healthy, happy, uplifting, positive place where for my time, lunchtime, I can come in the lunch and pick up something. You're always sharing deeply from your heart. You've done a lot in your life. You're not afraid to celebrate your wins and what you're doing right. Look, I had to dress properly for Tessa today. Right? You're always sharing and talking about how to raise our standards in life and just make excellence the bar. And I just want to tell you that you're a beautiful, excellent woman. I'm so glad our paths cross. And it's an honor and a privilege to share space and audience with you. Thank you so much for having me.
When I met you online, I thought you were like a statuesque African princess that was about 7 feet tall. Honestly. The women, there's a series of books, my family, 19 books to it, and all of us have read it, including my dad. It's called The Children of the Lion. and it's written by an author who's long dead, Peter Danielson. And the books are not even printed anymore, but you can get the used one on Amazon. But we read it when it was in print. And they always talk about the Nubian princesses, and that was the time. It's really based on the Bible. This man took the Bible and made it a love story, which it is. And he talked about all the African wealth of those days, and how and what they did and what they had and the kind of warriors they were. But he took the Bible itself and even the marriage parts, all of that became part, but they were walking the world at the same time before Christ was in that part of the world and where they traveled and how they fought. Anyway, and so in my head, there was a girl named Bisette. And you, and when I saw you, I thought you were much taller, and I was so surprised you were not any taller than my mother.
I am all of 5'5". All good things come in small packages.
So it has been a pleasure and a privilege to know you, and I hope one day we meet in person when I come to England to visit family. I have tons of them over there. Yeah. Or maybe come to North America and you decide Toronto is a sight to be seen, and you come to Toronto. But whatever, it is a pleasure to have you, and I'm so happy that I met you. And you said something about you love fashion. I also do. Well, you know that. I also hate with fashion. I love making my own clothes and designing stuff and wearing it. So we have a lot in common. Yes. But the most important thing I notice we have in common is the willingness to accept the responsibility that was given to us to help women and people in general live a fulfilled life. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you, Tessa. I can't say thank you without acknowledging Rosie Rose as well, and the power of community, right? So, because once you know one person, you can be introduced to another person. So I want to thank Rosie for connecting us, because if it wasn't for Rosie, we wouldn't know each other.
No, we won't. And Rosie and I go way back, like almost 4 years now since we've met, and it's funny, and she can tease and I can tease her equally. So it's amazing. On this thing that people are afraid of, some people are afraid of, we can connect on there and be here, and it's only because of this social media that we are here and having such a great time. So thank you everybody for coming. We are grateful and we are happy and grateful. I appreciate your presence here today. I'm trusting that you took a nugget, a black pearl, or a rare pink Canadian diamond. It's all up to you. You choose. And if you do not need it, pass it on. Always make sure there is room next to you for somebody else. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you for coming. Bye, Stacey and all these wonderful people. Bye-bye.